Hello everybody and welcome back to the BSGL highlights. We're looking at week 3 highlights here as we start off with the San Antonio Brigade versus the Oklahoma City Bison. Here we are starting off with an Almani Bates 3 as he gets the ball and the Oklahoma City Bison are up 3-0 early. Here's Stackhouse coming off the screen from DeJuan Jones. DeJuan has a post mismatch against the smaller man. He's going to go right around him and then windmill slam it all over Lu Feng, who was supposed to be an elite defender, but he did not show it there. He got his back turned mid-air and got one punched all over him. As here's Lu Feng with a nice contest, but DeJuan Jones is right there as he grabs it and slams it in the face of Towers. And what an early start here for DeJuan Jones. Now it's 13-13 in the second. It's early. Here's a Hearn. As what a crossover and slam from the backup point guard. As he has not looked like a backup here early. He's been killing it. As he's left wide open for pretty well no reason. He's going to knock down the 3 to put his team up 1. Now here the Bison on the break. Here's Bates. Pull-up jumper. That's good. Well, it's a 3-point Bison lead. There's McKenna here for the Brigade as he goes to Maravich, and Maravich finds DeJuan inside, who powers it in for a nice and one. What a play from DeJuan Jones, showing off the strength as he hits the free throw and ties the game. Now later in the second, still tied at 20. Here's Bates again. He's been cooking with gas here early. Now the Brigade back on offense. DeJuan Jones against Lu Feng in the paint, and that's just all day for him. He's too big to have that small of a man be guarding him inside. Now the Brigade up 2. Here's a Hearn again, finding Bates inside for a nice transition layup as Bates has been all over it here early. Here's Bates with a steal. His team already up 2, make that 4 as he slams it in transition. It's another fast break bucket. Here's Feng, really gelling with the rest of his team as he finds the big man inside right for a slam. As this fast-paced Bison offense has their lead at 6 at halftime, but now just a 2-point lead in the third, making a tie game with DeJuan Jones. Slams it in the face of Feng yet again. He goes up with the right, and Feng just doesn't have the strength to be dealing with that inside. As soon as DeJuan Jones inside again, and it's blocked by Feng. DeJuan Jones did not go up very strong, and Feng finally got him. As here's the Bison in transition, but Bates is going to get swatted as well, as these two teams are going tit for tat here in the third. Now a 1-point Brigade lead. Let's look at the lob. That would have been insane, but he could just not finish it, and it's going to turn into a Brigade steal and slam at the other end. That is now a 3-point lead for San Antonio. Here's Bates driving. Look at the little step back in the mid-range. He gets it to fall. He's looked very good here. Here's Boyd Elliott on Bates inside, and Bates just showing that he cannot really play defense. He is just a scorer. He lets his man go right around him and flush it with 2 hands. Still a 3-point Brigade lead. As here's Iguodala finding Feng in transition, and he's going to collect the and one. Lu Feng looking to tie the game with this free throw, and he will. Now the Brigade back up 2. Next possession for the Bison. There's Feng driving left, pulling a mid-range shot, very contested. It is good. Lu Feng ties the game with 5 minutes remaining. Now a 4-point Brigade lead. Inside the Towers, off the pass from, I don't remember what his name is. I think it's like a Wright Foreman or something like that. As here's the point guard for the Brigade finding, I think that's Maravich finding Jones in the mid-range as he puts this lead back up to 2. Now tied again. Here's Jones against Towers, goes up, and Towers with a huge rejection, almost swatted it right through the goal. But here's Feng going to find Bates in transition as he can't get the 3 to fall either. So big time wasted opportunities for both teams as here comes Jones yet again. We see Bates already with 18 in the game. Not great from outside though. So here's Jones working on Feng, a much smaller defender, as he's going up, and Towers is going to get him from the backside off the glass again. As there's a pass inside from Davis into Bates, as Bates gets another bucket, and it's a 2-point Bison lead. Now they have the ball again. Here's Feng. He goes out to Davis right, I think that's his name, as he nails yet another three. I can't remember that guy's name for the life of me, as it is a 5-point Bison lead. Brigade need a quick bucket. Terrible shot there from Maravich. Whoa, wasn't good. If you're going to be that close, go inside, and they go to Feng on the break. and he's going to slam it to put the Bison up 7 with 1:20 remaining. Here's DeJuan Jones inside trying to get a quick one. And he does, so there's now just a 5-point game as the Brigade try and make this comeback. Here they are after the stop. Here's Jones again. Right at the hoop, driving inside. He gets in somehow and puts it in to make it a 3-point game with 31 seconds remaining. Now here's the Bison trying to put it away. Here's Bates finding Davis Reitzel. And he can't get it to fall, so the Brigade have a chance. So they call timeout. Here we are after the inbound. Got to get a 3 to tie the game. So what is he doing driving inside? Got to get it out. And they go to the center, who gives, I don't mean, why does DeJuan have it? He can't shoot threes. So they go to McKenna, who gets swatted by Fung at the horn. And that's how this one's going to end. The Brigade do terrible on their last possession. Don't run anything and fail as we see some box scores from that day. Quentin Pope has a nice game, 6 for 7, but if you're that hot, why not shoot a little bit more to get more than 16 points, as Reggie George puts up a 30-point performance with 19 rebounds. Now to Pioneers Huskies. The Huskies still cannot find a way to win a game, as we see Bradley put in 24 and Denzel Spears put in a triple-double with 28 points. What a game from him, as he leads his team to, I think, their first victory of the year. Now the game what we just saw, Bates with a 35-point performance. Fung had a nice game as well, as DeJuan Jones puts up 42 and 24 boards and 3 blocks. Now into Royals Titans. There's Kenny Dimes in the mid-range shot, but Rich Mack is right there to put it in after the miss. Here's Dimes fending. Van Breda Culp. And after looking at Sir Dominic Van Breda Culp, you know why we call him not Daniel Tice, because that is a long name. Game 3 action between the Detroit Titans and the Anaheim Royals, as Rich Mack has been all over Doug White here early, and it is a 5-point Royals lead. Here's Figueroa going to Doug White. As there's Doug, he finally shows up. He has been dominant here early in the season. We see Kenny Dimes collecting a steal. The only problem Doug White has been with the foul trouble. As we see Kenny Dimes get a slam, and it is now a 1-point Anaheim lead. Here's Doug again in transition, just too big, and he can run the floor. Still a 1-point lead for the Titans. Here's Dimes, getting the screen from Beretta. He's going right at Doug, and he gets it to fall. Doug can't get the block. 1-point Royals lead. Now back to the Titans. Here's the pass inside to Beretta, and it's going to get stolen, and Doug White is running the floor, and look at the big man go, as he punishes the rim in transition, now for a 3-point lead. Here's Doug. You know, if he's got it in the post, he's going to score somehow. He finds the open man for 3, and after a miss, Doug White is there to put it back in. He is a paint beast. Now a 3-point Titans lead. How about this shot getting blocked on the defense from the Royals, but Moncrief gets it right back and nails the mid-range jumper for a 5-point Detroit lead. Here's Doug White. Just blows right by Daniel Tice in transition. He can't catch up. Or not, sorry, not Dan. That's definitely not Daniel Tice. Here's Doug White, now a 5-point lead. Guarded by Rogers, and he's just going right past him. I did my very best there with the user. This is just too small. Here's Mack. White finally getting the best of him to see blocks him, and is now a 7-point Titans lead. There's Man Chiwungo, whatever his name is. Missed, but Doug forces the rebound out of Mack's hands and puts it in, as he is now bullying the young man. Now a 7-point lead at the end of the half. How about this move? Crossing over, all sorts of stuff. Fade away. And he gets it to fall, almost at the horn for a 9-point lead for the Titans going into the half. Now an 11-point lead in the third. Here's Doug in the paint again. Look at this clinic, double pump fake. Gets definitely not Daniel Tice to bite. And here's Dimes finding Raven, who finds not Daniel Tice for a big-time slam. I guess I could just start calling him Culp. That's just not as fun. It's not Daniel Tice, as we see Kenny Dimes get the mid-range bucket and make it an 8-point game. Now with a minute 30 left, they're still down 8. He finds Falcone for a big, oh, whoops, we're still in the third quarter. I'm higher than the kite, as we see Falcone make it a 6-point game. So here in the third, Doug White going to extend the lead a little bit more on the fadeaway from the post. As it is now a 10-point game with 27 seconds remaining, as we see Figueroa fire a deep 3. And Doug White gets the board from Kenny Dimes. Now they're going to double him in the post. He whips it out, and they find the open man. And that's a big-time bucket from the Titans. What a team play there, as they lead by 15 now with 6:30 remaining. Here's Kenny Dimes missing the layup, getting his own board, putting it right back in. Nice hustle there from Kenny. There's a 13-point game. Here's Figueroa working up top. Dropping a dime inside to Green. And Green's going to miss the fadeaway, but Doug White is right there to slam it in. Look at Doug White roll. Here's White in transition again. He gives it up to Hardy. Hardy misses, and who else but Doug White is right there to put it back. As it is now a 21-point game, and they have busted this one wide open as Kenny Dimes gets another nice mid-range bucket. It is a little too little too late there for the Royals as they end up dropping this one by 19 as the Titans run away with it in the fourth. So we see a quick box score. Here's Kenny Dimes with a nice double-double on a very poor shooting night, though. Just all around for that team, but he was 9 for 33, and then we see Doug White's dominant performance, 28 points and 27 boards, as we take a quick look at his season stats. As we see his career stats, 42 points a game and 21 rebounds. That is dominance. As now we move down to New Orleans for the San Diego Sharks versus the New Orleans Pandas. Here's Quentin Pope, already with the ball 7 seconds in, and he's scoring in 9 seconds. He's got 2 points. Now after a Pandas bucket, here's Pope going right at the rim again. And he's scoring fast and furious early with 4 points in 40 seconds. Now here's the Pandas. Midas Khan's got a little mismatch in the high post and they get it to him. He's going to spin right around his man and slam it with the left hand as Midas Khan ties this game up. Now still a 2-point Pandas lead. Here's the screen from Pope. As what a terrible floating shot. As he just put that one right in the face of the center, and it ends up in a Midas Khan transition, fast break, foul, and he will hit both free throws. Now a 9-11 game. Here's Khan with a block on the inside. And it's going to turn into the Pandas running as Khan goes right at the rim. And the smaller defender cannot do anything about that one as Midas Khan takes flight. As here he is in transition again, just weaving his way through the defense. No one really wanting to get in his way. It is now a 6-point lead for the Pandas. Now a 7-point lead. Here's Khan probing inside and whips it inside to Hayes, who got the back cut on his man. What a cut from Hayes. There's Khan running the break again, and what were you doing? Number 41 just left him. I'm not sure who that is, but he just left the paint. Guess he's not trying to get dunked on. 10-point Pandas lead. Here's the big man, Jackson Zogata, slamming in 2 defenders' faces. As we see the free throw. Oh, that's not Jackson. That's Jeb. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Zogata. 10-point game now. Here's Zogata putting that one off the glass as Ellington could not get it to fall. Here's the Pandas in transition, and they will get a bucket out of it. Make it an 8-point game with 1:10 in the quarter and the half. Here's Hayes going right at the bucket again, and Zogata couldn't get that one, and Hayes gets not Hayes. Khan gets a nice contested layup. 12-point game. Here's Pope with a steal. He's going at the hoop. Midas Khan's going to force a miss, but Pope is right there to put it back in himself after his own miss. Nice hustle from Pope. So here's Khan back in the post, just making it look easy. He is scoring at the rim at will. Here he is in transition again, throwing down the left-handed tomahawk slam. Far too easy for the big man. 19-point game now. Here's Pope back on offense, and look at that athletic layup. He brings it back down, double clutches on the layup. Here he is finding Shakur for 3. It is now just a 14-point game and 5 minutes remaining. Now with 2:40 remaining, 20-point game. Here's Khan with another block after the rebound. Now they're just toying with him as this game is pretty well blown wide open, and still nobody wants to get in the way of Khan. He's just going to keep going right at the hoop unless somebody stops him as Pope literally stepped out of the way. Here we are again. Khan still driving right around defenders in transition, and one finally stepped in, but it was far too late. Somebody getting in garbage time trying to make a big play, but instead he's going to end up on a poster and send this crowd home a little bit happier than they already were, as the Pandas take that one by a large margin. So we see some scores around the league. There's Brian Williams putting up a nice double-double. He leads his Sting to a 20-point lead over the Huskies, as Bradley's got to do something. He put up a double-double, but his team cannot find a way to win as they're 0-3 early. The Blaze pick up their first win against the Enforcers as Will Trust was 3 for 8 with only 12 points, as he's got to get more shots up. As that is just not a great night from the small point guard, as then we see B.J. Riley put on a clinic with 28 points, 10 for 13, 4 for 5 from outside. A very nice game from him. Nice way to bounce back from that not-so-great first-game performance that we saw. Apollos beat the Wranglers in a barn-burner, 125-123, as Hayden Oakley puts up 38 and 12. A very nice game from him as he's looked solid here earlier. He went 8 from 9 from deep. Lamar Outlaw went 7 of 7 from deep and had 48 of his own. And Lamar Shelton had 26 and 14, but it was not enough to get them the W. Moving on to the next game, we see The Cobras win their opener against the Pioneers as Evan Stone puts up 42 points in his debut. Very nice game from him. He did turn it over 5 times though as Denzel Spears puts up 22 and 9, but could not get the W as he had some nice defensive stats as well. Sharks Pandas, Midas Khan with 51 and 14, 17 to 24 from the floor. And then we see Pope with 18 on a 9 of 22 night. Not too great from him. Now into our next game. We have your Portland Pioneers up against the Boston Hilltoppers, who are undefeated, and now we know why. As we see Parker Puff on their very first possession go right at the rim and slam it. Here he is again finding the Eastern for a nice inside bucket. He's responsible for all their points. Here's Denzel in transition. He's getting blocked by Puff, but his man will find it and put it in. Here's Puff with another crossover as he's topping his first dunk. We look up the crossover at the top, and he does the windmill reverse jam with both hands. 6-6 game now. Here's Puff from the mid-range. He's going to get it to fall. But he's had a nice pass for 2 points, and he scored the other 6. Now they have 10. Here's Puff yet again, going right at the hoop. Somebody stop him. Nobody wants to get in the way. As here's Denzel pulling up for 2 on the transition. He's going to get the fall back to a 4-point game right around his man again. There's Parker Puff. And each dunk just looks better than the last. Let's look at this one. He just keeps crossing to the right and just getting right by his man. As look at this transition. Nobody can find him. He ran right down the middle of the floor from coast to coast, and he gets found for the alley-oop. He's got 12 early points. Here he is again. Little post move, and he's dunking on another man for a 5-point Hilltoppers lead. Parker Puff is looking like a menace in this one. Here we are still in the second. 4:38 remaining. Here's Denzel. Poor Denzel. He gets swatted there, but he is going to find his man for a nice 3 there after the offensive board. So it's not all bad. Here's Puff again at the hoop. Somebody get in his way as he cradles that one home. Still a 4-point game. There's a 3 from Denzel as Spears knocks it down to make it a 1-point game. Here's an outlet pass. Yeah, he throws it back into Puff, and Puff fakes left and then fades right for the nice fadeaway midi. There's Cunningham for 3. He can't get it to fall. Sullivan board whipping it up to Puff, and R.J. Miller did not want any part of it as he steps out of the way to let Puff slam it. There's Cunningham again going right at the rim as he's going to throw the lob to Shaw. Nice little pick and roll play there from Shaw and Cunningham as they find Denzel Spears in transition for a slam. Now a 3-point game in the third quarter. Here's Puff going inside as he finds his man for a nice N1 play from Eastern, and he hits the free throw. 6-point Hilltoppers lead. Puff on the screen from Sullivan, going right at the rim. As finally somebody got in his way, but he's going to throw this one down in the face of the defender with 2 hands as no foul is called. Now a 10-point Hilltoppers lead. There's like Acock or whatever the heck that name was in transition as he gets the slam. And there's a big-time swat. And now we see Denzel taking it back the other way. Still a 12-point game. He's going to get his layup to fall. Now down to 10. As the Hilltoppers call timeout. Back up to a 15-point lead. How about the lob to the backup point guard? As Xiong takes a page out of Parker Puff's book. Here he is finding Childs inside, and Spears says no as he puts one off the glass. Trying to get his team riled up to put him back within this 17-point game as Cunningham nails the mid-range jumper. 17-point game, 6 seconds remaining. There's Spears inside. He gets the ball. 15-point game and now into the fourth. An 11-point game. Puff back in. And more posters for Puff. Parker Puff. Poster Puff. Maybe his new nickname. But here he is in transition. Nice defense. Cunningham gets his own board, and Puff's going to say no again as Douglas finally gets fouled. His Hilltoppers defense has been pretty good, and it's just, I mean, everybody knows what's coming by now. 17-point game. Leto, what are you doing, Cunningham? Just lets him drive, or just lets him cut right across his face. This Boston ends up taking this one by 19 and stays undefeated as they look like a dominant team here early. Puff put up 55 and 19 with 7 assists. Cunningham had 25 and good old Denzel Spears had 20. Not a bad night from him. He just needs to maybe carry the load offensively a little bit more. As now we move down to South Beach for the Flamingos versus the Wranglers. Here in a 2-0 game. Here's Kanye Jordan with the steal. He's whipping it up to Antonov, who's running the floor, who's going to dunk it in the face of Outlaw to make this a 4-0 game. Now here's Antonov going to Strawberry. Strawberry right back. Antonov shuffles it to Fudge Strawberry, who gets the slam, and it's now a 6-0 game. Here's Stackhouse going right at the rim and slamming it with the right hand. As the Flamingos are all over the Wranglers here early. Here's Shelton finally finding Outlaw for 3 as he knocks it down to make it a 5-point game. Here's Stackhouse. Doesn't want the screen from Antonov. Goes off the one from Jordan. Antonov's man collapses inside and leaves him wide open at the top of the key. And he's going to knock that one down all day. As it is now 11-5. Here's Shelton inside. Getting a nice reverse jam. He's trying to get his team pumped up to get him back in this game. Here's Antonov coming over to Carson. Carson drives on Shelton, and for some reason Antonov's man is back right off of him. He's going to get another 3 to fall early. 2 quick threes for Antonov. Later in the first, here's Shelton finding, I don't know, well, I'm not even going to try for that name. He will get it to fall, and it is now 10-14. Antonov getting stripped by Shelton. Shelton on the break, going right at the rim as he double clutch reverses, and Antonov fouls him, but he ends up missing the free throw. Here's Greenwald off the assist from Antonov. No good, and Antonov there to get the board and put it in. 4-point game for Miami. There's Shelton. And right at the rim again. How about that layup? Lots of contact there, but no foul called, and he gets it to fall anyway. Here's Carson going to Antonov. In the mid-range, he gets it to fall again. Scoring early and at will. Here is Antonov. Here's Shelton again. Look at the step through as he goes right around his man and Antonov for 2 more points. Shelton now in transition again. How about that spin? But Antonov's there to block it. Antonov got a little confused there early, but recovers for the block. As here he is in the post. Little drop step move and a slam. Using that weight, throwing it around a little bit. As he drop steps on the smaller defender and throws it down with 2 hands. Here's Stackhouse. Stackhouse fakes, whips it out to Antonov for yet another 3. Antonov already with plenty of points. Here's Stackhouse again. He's going to miss the jumper. Who else but Antonov is there to get it and put it right back in. 4-point Flamingos lead. Now with an 8-point lead. Here's Outlaw. He's going to fade away in the post. He gets it to fall. 6-point game now back to 8. Here's Outlaw again. Other side. Still on Jordan. How about another fade away? It's good. Now to a 7-point game. 50 seconds remain in the half. Here's Jordan going right around Outlaw. And he's going to throw it down in the face of 2 Wranglers. As he just got that little bit of separation that he needed and had nothing but the rim in his sights. Here's Outlaw to start the third quarter. He's getting inside and making it look easy. As it is back to a 6-point Flamingo lead. As there's the Wranglers running the break as Lamar finds Lamar for a nice little mid-range bucket. As how about the lob to Kenyon Cauley-Stein. Look at how high he gets here and throws it down. There's Cauley-Stein again. He's going to find Antonov in the corner. Green all day. Back up to a 5-point Flamingos lead. Now a 1-point Flamingos lead. Carson finding Antonov again. People just keep collapsing inside and forgetting about the big man out there. He's got yet another 3. Now Antonov getting doubled, finding Greenwald, and he's going to hit the 3 as the Flamingos look good from deep here to start the 4th. 5-point lead. Achilles doubled again. Look at that whip inside to the very small man, and he gets a bucket. There's now a 1-point game. The Outlaws amid a 6-0 run. Outlaw can't get the bucket. And here's Antonov going right at the hoop with 40 seconds remaining to put it up. The Flamingos by 2. Now here's Outlaw. Antonov guarding. Now Kanye guarding. And he's going to throw up the floater. No good, but he's going to put it right back in. So a tie game with 28 seconds remaining, now with 12. As Stackhouse tries to take it himself, he had Antonov. 12 seconds remaining. Here's Outlaw. 9. He's just probing on Jordan. 4 seconds remaining. He's going to have to do something with it. He's just going to have to fire up a layup, and it's no good, so we will have overtime. And now overtime in South Beach. Flamingos already lead by 2. Let's look at Shelton. Can't get it to fall, but he's going right back up in the foul on Antonov. As Lamar Shelton misses the clutch free throw, though. And now it's a 2-point game. Here's Shelton going into Strawberry, who goes straight up with the Eiffel Tower jam. Here's Jordan trying to get it to Antonov, but he throws it away. A huge wasted opportunity there from the Flamingos as here come the Wranglers. Here's Shelton, maybe had a lane, but he's going to take it back out. Whips it to Outlaw. It's looking like they want Outlaw to finish these games. Looks like they do not trust it in Shelton's hands as much as they do Outlaw's. Getting the screen. He's got Achille all over him. Had a little bit of space, but can't hit it. And Achille blocks the putback attempt. So we will have double overtime. Wranglers already up 2 in double overtime. 2:20 to go. Here's Achille for 3. And it will fall. 1 point Flamingos lead. Here's Shelton. Top of the key. Outlaw's coming around. He's going to find him. He's way too open. You know that one's going in. Back up to a 2-point Wranglers lead. Here's Shelton again. Still a 2-point lead. Here's Rufflin Pratt. Inside. He's going up. Getting blocked by Strawberry Witherspoon with a board. To Shelton. To Outlaw. And he's going to knock one down in the face of Antonov to make it a 4-point game. Flamingos now need a bucket as Carson goes right at the rim, and he's going to throw it away as well. He had Antonov at the top of the key. 5-point game now. Here come the Flamingos. Need this bucket from Jordan. Can't get it to fall. As Shelton collects it, that will just about do it as they have to foul. Shelton took both free throws. And that will be your final from double OT as the Wranglers rally and win it in South Beach. Antonov with a 54-point game, and only one other person on his team had double digits as he collects a triple-double. Look at those awful shooting numbers from the rest of the team. What a rough game that was for the Flamingos. Now look at the Wranglers. Outlaw with 34 on an awful shooting night of 13 for 41, and Shelton with a triple-double, but they could not hit their free throws down the stretch or at all in this game. As all the players that shot one at least missed one. Now to our last game of the evening, or for the week. We have the Baltimore Hustlers and the Indianapolis Shift. As yes, I know that the Hustlers are in Philadelphia's uniforms. I don't know why that happened. I selected their uniforms, and for some reason they still got put in the Sixers uniforms as they are down 4 early. But Rob Duncan says no to that one. And then contested layup there, or on the putback. So now, Hustlers down 12, or down, whoops, down 9, as now they're just down 7 as there's Foster inside for his first bucket. This is only a 26-18 game. We're going to fly right through this, and there's a nice pass from Duncan, making it a 6-point lead for the Shift. Now Duncan again in transition as he gets a nice two-handed slam. It is 30-22 now. 4:20 left in the game. Here's Natchbar for 3, as he's going to nail it to make it a 5-point game, back up to 7. Here the Shift driving. Here's Foster. He's going inside. Backing down his man. He's going to pull a little mid-range. No good. Cousins with the rebound. He can't get it to fall. Foster another rebound. Can't get it to fall. Guess who's got it? Foster. Again. Finally gets it to go. There's an 11-point Shift lead as there's a pass inside. We have another transition slam as we are already in the 4th quarter. Just 3:30 remaining. Look at the lob to Duncan. This is just a 44-38 game. That's why we are flying right through this thing, because we've almost seen every single basket, because there have only been about 2 a quarter. There's Duncan inside again, slamming it. Duncan for Duncan. And it is a 6-point Shift lead. Now a 9-point lead. Trying to put it away. Here's Little for 3, and that will just about seal the deal. As it is 43 seconds remain, as now that they're just trying to make it respectable as Duncan gets another slam in transition. But a 10-point loss here for the Baltimore Hustlers in their opener that we see at least. So now we look at some scores around the league. The Legends win again. So I think they went 3-0 this week. They beat the Pandas as Khan had a nice game with a double-double, but not a lot of points. And Reggie George had 27 rebounds on his double-double. The Royals beat the Skyliners. John Francis with 18 points, 14 boards, and 9 assists. A very nice game as Kenny Dimes puts up a triple-double and leads his team to one of their first wins. Duncan, 23 points, 30 boards, and only a 72-point offensive night for the Hustle, as Foster didn't do too great either, as we saw some awful shooting numbers there. Now Oakley, we saw his quick numbers there as he put up another nice game. As Pope finally got some scoring done, as we see our players of the week here, Achille and DeWange. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed Week 3 highlights, then stay tuned for Week 4. They will be coming out soon. I appreciate all of you.